Hi guys, we're back in the workshop. We were working on the Mosh for a while. In about 45 days, we painted the car, we finished some of the body work, we got the seats in, we got it started. We fixed the fuel problems and stuff like that. The car will be back in a bit. I sent it to a professional tinsmith to correct some things, and we'll touch up the paint after that. But for now, we've got a few of the cars back out. We want to get them ready. This one here is my E30. So this needs a bit of figuring out for the basically the crank position sensor. There are three different types for the same engine. There's a bit of confusion, so I'm trying to sort that out. I've brought it out here. I'll cover it up in a bit, but it'll take me a bit of time to figure out what's wrong and figure out the wiring. I did try to do the wiring myself, and I did burn some wires, so I'm gonna have to open up the dash and work on that. We've got my 124 over here. It used to start all right, but now Mishka, come here. Oh. So we've got my 124 over here, and it doesn't seem to start anymore. I tried to short the glow plugs and see if that was working, but I wasn't getting any current. So what we have to do is we have to replace these. These are the glow plugs. They heat up a diesel car's engine, and this basically helps it get to the right temperature for it to start. But currently it looks like it doesn't have any working glow plugs, so we're going to replace them and see if that works. We've got the Lada 2. We figured out what we want to do with this. It does have the 124 E220 engine in there. Currently it has this, but yeah, it's a bit tricky to figure out things like the suspension and all that. We might have a simpler solution which is more economic with what we have at hand, but it's quite expensive to fix this stuff. Things like the suspension on this are quite expensive for what a crude car it is. It's basically an NE 118 in the front, the suspension. The back is, it's a wagon, so it's got some different stuff. It's more Lada, but it's still expensive for what you're getting out of it. So we're gonna try to do some stuff, and we'll see where that goes. But that's gonna be in a couple of months when we finish with the AC Cobra. So that's next up. Till then, we're just gonna clean up some of the cars. The S10. So the S10 is, we cleaned it up. We fixed up the brakes. We're gonna take it out for a few drives. We'll see what to do with it because I'm quite tired of it, a little bored. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I have a turbo kit for it. I have a spare engine, another gearbox, two spare engines actually, but not sure what to do with it yet. Maybe we'll fit the turbo kit in a while when we get the free time, but let's see where that goes. We've got the CLS and the Thar, nothing much to do there. The Neo is working great. We registered it in Goa. It's been transferred, and I probably put about 13,000 kilometers on it, so it's doing a good job. But yeah, there's no problem at all with it. I had one problem with it where some of the modules were not working, the car wouldn't start, and all we had to do was clean up the secondary battery's ground. We just had to clean it up. We sanded it up, changed some of the lugs, and we put some Vaseline, and it was good to go. We're just getting the cars cleaned up so we can use them the next couple of months. We've got the Vauxhall hot rod out here. Nothing really needed. I think just the brakes are a little jammed up. It feels like the brakes are not doing great. So we'll open up the brakes and see that in a bit. Yeah, come on. We'll be working on a few more of these cars later when we get the time. The Cobra's in here too. I'll show you that. Yeah, sure. So we've got the Cobra shell over here. This is something we picked up. We're going to put it actually on a Honda Accord. The owner of the project wants to just do something quick, not too fancy, no chassis or anything. We'll plant it on top after shortening the wheelbase. It's not going to be it's just going to be a quick project. We're probably going to do something like an off-road Cobra. That's what we're thinking. The E30 is on hold for a bit. It's going to take us some time because it is quite an expensive project to build. So we got some of these tools from BOSCH. They sent us a few things. They sent us an impact drill. They sent us a normal drill. These are all wireless tools. They sent us a saber saw. They sent us a mini drill. This is good for smaller stuff. They sent us this. I don't know what you call this. This is basically all these bits that we would use for screws and stuff like that. And they sent us battery chargers and stuff that came along with the tools, as well as some of them needed us to purchase it separately. Over here we have the impact drill. This is called the GDS 18V-200. This came with a battery. It's an 18 volt battery with 4 amp hours. They're lithium ion. They come with 2 batteries and 1 charger. These chargers are really simple. All you have to do is slot this in, and when it's charging, it'll blink, and it'll stop blinking when it's done charging. All you have to do is press this button. If you want to know how much battery is left, you have to press this over here. This is available on the 4 amp hour ones. Okay, one sec. This has reverse and forward, nothing else. It's a normal impact. What I like about this is it's wireless. I can take it anywhere. It replaces my my pneumatic one, which I would need a compressor to take. You know, I have to take it everywhere along with me. But this is wireless, so that's great about this. I can take it anywhere. This would be good if I was going off-roading or had to work on site or repair a car somewhere else. This would be great. I think this is a great tool for that. I have had a bit of struggle, but I guess that's when things were really tight. But otherwise, it did eventually open it up. The battery does drain, but it should. So it's good that it has 2 batteries. This machine came with 2 batteries, as I mentioned. This one here came with 2 amp hour batteries, but they're smaller. They don't have any battery indication, but they also slot into the other machines as well. This impact, the drill, and the saber saw, they all share the same battery types, so we can interchange them, and that's what makes it great. I can have 3 tools, multiple batteries. When they discharge, I can replace them, so that's good. This has it has a hammer setting, it has a drill setting, and a screw in setting. It also has this, which sets when it disconnects. So what happens is, if I were to not have this and I were drilling, it would impact my wrist. It would impact my wrist and hurt it. So what would happen is, with this, it cuts out when it's too much of, it requires too much of torque, or it's just stuck, the drill is jammed or something like that. We do have lights on all these tools. This one has a light over here. This one also has a light. The saber saw has a light too. And it's quite easy to use. You just have to twist this and it works. This locking mechanism is a bit different to what we're used to on our tools. It doesn't have that ball over here. It has this ring, and it works fine. So this has reverse and forward. It has 2 gear settings, and that's pretty much it. It's great. It has 2 batteries as well. Comes with these 2 amp hour batteries and 1 charger. Same charger could be used for both machines. Over here we have the saber saw. This is called the GSA 18V-LIC. What this basically does, it can cut through anything. It can cut through metal, cut through steel, cut through wood, plastic, anything. So on site it would be good. I mean, you could use it for anything. You want to cut trees, you want to cut up a car. We're going to demonstrate that in a bit, as well as all the other tools. So it's great. It does have a lock over here because it is a dangerous tool. You could just slice off your finger with it, so you have to be really careful. But great tool, comes with a few blades as well. It does have the light, but this one doesn't come with any batteries or a charger. So that's one thing. I wish it did, because if all tools came with batteries and chargers, it would be easier for us. It has this release over here. So I used to use another machine. It had a grub screw and stuff like that. But what makes it really good is you just have to, twist this, and the blade comes out, and it's easily interchangeable. So I put this in and it's locked firmly. That's all we had to do. So that's that. This is basically the Dremel replacement. I have Dremel. Mishka, 1 second. This is basically the Dremel replacement. I used to have a Dremel, that's also a BOSCH tool, but it lasted for about 10 to 15 years, did a great job. But this is the wireless one that they've come up with. This is from BOSCH. The batteries are sold separately. It comes with 2 batteries, one here, and a charger. This doesn't run the same system. These are 12 volt, 2 amp hour batteries. So all we have to do is put this in here. We have a speed setting, so we can set the speed, and we have an on and off switch. So it starts quite slow. So when you turn it on and off, you get the battery level. You also get, you have this chuck, so it's easy to open and tighten stuff. All you have to do is press this and you twist this. There's no problem there. It's quite good that way. I enjoy that about this. It's got a light as well. So we got a light. And this could be used for, what I like to use this for is when screws or bolts have rounded. I can recut them make them a size smaller or make the screw work again, and remove stuff which can't be removed otherwise. Otherwise you have to cut it, break it, there's no other choice. But this helps me do that. So I like to redo screws so I can make them recut the flat end. So that's it. What we're going to do is we're going to take these tools and demonstrate them on a car or some sheet metal so you know how they work and how easy they are to work with. So the drill, the GSB 185 Li, came with a couple of drill bits and a carry case, so that's great. The impact also came with a carry case, but this here came with a couple of drill bits. We've got wooden drill bits, we've got concrete drill bits, as well as the normal steel ones. And it also came with some of these bits. So this will help us get out some screws and stuff like that, or drill in screws. That's this. What we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate how this works on the car by drilling a hole to drain the water. So for a demonstration, this drill bit is quite thick. It's going to probably be a little difficult. Let's see how long it takes to drill a hole through the floor, which is quite heavy. The floor is one of the heaviest parts of the car, as well as these structural beams. But I'm going to drill a hole and show you guys how it works. So I'll put it on the heaviest setting. I'll put it in hole mode. Oh, that was good. So drilled it in no time. Here we have the impact. What we're going to do is we're going to try to remove one of these bolts from the hinge. These are some of the tightest bolts on the car because basically the doors have to stay in place. So we're going to take it onto the removal side with this button. Put it here. That was easier than I thought, much easier. If I want to tighten it, all I have to do is, one sec, maybe I should just get it in a bit, go like this, and that's all you need to do. So now we're outdoors with the saber saw, the GSA 18V LIC. What we're going to do, this blade is a bit used up. I've used it to cut some steel, but I'm going to demonstrate it by cutting the B pillar. Let's see how long it takes. So all we have to do is we have to make sure this edge is touching the metal. Otherwise it's a little dangerous. You shouldn't be like this. It works, but it's better to have it touching. In this case it's not so easy. If it was the roof, we could have cut straight through. So what we'll do is we'll find an edge. There we go. Now that is cut. That's all you needed to do. 1 second. So it cuts that easily. That's all you need to do with a saber saw. I could probably part out this car in no time. This is basically a crashed Mercedes. I've pulled out the parts. I want to use it for a platform on something else, but it's going to be great for me to use this to chop off stuff. Also, the sparks are minimal. Instead of using a grinder that could be dangerous, here the sparks are minimal, so I don't really have a problem as much. I could just cover up the stuff where the fuel is, but much safer than using a grinder. Also, those consumables are a bit of a pain. It's very dusty. This is much cleaner. So I think that's the great part. I'll now show you the other tools. Now we have the miniature drill. This is called the GRO 12V-35. This is a 12-volt battery powered tool. It kind of replaces the Dremel. It came with, it didn't come with any batteries, as I mentioned. It has a light over here, and these batteries had to be purchased separately. It came with, that pack came with 2 of these batteries and 1 charger. So all you got, what I like about this is that you can put a really small cutting blade. I use this sometimes to recut screws, so I can get them to work again if the screws have rounded. I can resize bolts or nuts and make them smaller. But I could also do something like make small holes and refinish tight turns. So over here I'm just going to mark this. I'm going to mark a small circle. And I'm going to cut this hole as a circular one. We use the miniature drill to cut a circular hole using the cutting blade. It's not that smooth yet, it's still a bit rough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these grinding stones that's fitted on this and make it round. So that's going to make it smooth. If I had to do some adjustments, I could use this. So we finished the hole. We've made it smooth. It's smooth to the touch. It's circular. I could have taken some more time and made it completely circular. This tool is great for carving stuff, refinishing, sanding, little tiny details, things like that. Like let's say you are into really detailing stuff, smaller parts like tail lights, headlights, little trim. This tool is great. But with all the tools, what I really enjoyed was that they're wireless. So you just have to take this out and replace the battery. But what you need to keep in mind is that they do deplete. So making this one hole took 1 bar of battery out of this. So 1/3 of the battery we can assume is almost over. That is one thing. So you do have to keep the secondary battery always charged. Another thing is if you have the 2 amp hour batteries on the other machines, you should make sure you have the 4 amp ones too, because amp hour ones, because they will last longer. They'll last double the time. So that's important. Keep them charged. They don't take long to charge, and that's a good thing. Compared to the other tools I've had some Chinese tools, I've had good quality ones. I like how they feel. This feels heavy, it feels strong. You know that the motors are good, but also they have a great grip on them. And the switches are good. The switches are good. I don't think I'll have any problems with them failing, but that's what I feel like on first use. I've used it for a month and they're great. So the grips are good. The amount of rubber on them is good, because that's another thing. When you're using this, you don't want it falling out of your hand. I feel like they have a lot of grip on them. So I hope you enjoyed the review on these tools, and let me know what you guys think. Maybe next time I could do something different with them. I'm sure while building the next projects, I'll be using these a lot. We'll be building the AC Cobra. We'll have to cut up the car, we'll have to remove stuff, and we can definitely use all these tools and show you them while we're working on these cars. But let me know what you guys want to see next time. Like, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching.